Hello, welcome to this video for COMP3218, Game Design and Development at the University of Southampton. My name is Dave Millard, I'm one of the lecturers on the course, and I'm here with...
I'm Tom Blount, I also teach on the course.
Great, so we're going to have a look at some student work today. Tom, do you want to say a little bit about what we asked the students to do?
Absolutely. So for this coursework, we asked the students to submit another small game prototype, this time with a focus on storytelling in games, particularly one with a story engine in which the game affects the story and the story affects the game world. And we asked them to base it on one of 3 different fables.
Brilliant. Okay, well in that case, let's have a look at our first game. Okay, so our first game is called The Echo of Wild. Oh, there we are.
Nice title screen.
Nice music. I like that's a nice title screen actually, isn't it? It's got a lion. I think maybe that does that implies where we're going with this.
I think it does.
Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, nice big start button. I've got credits down the bottom. I've got an exit. I guess we'll go straight to it. So top left hand corner movement is the WASD keys. V to attack. Maybe I should. Does it? Okay, doesn't seem to do much, but I'll go with that.
There's something with a health bar over there. We can kill it.
There is, yes. Enter and exit interaction space.
So I think that means press space to interact with things.
Okay. So there's the thing. What's the thing? Oh, notice no unauthorized use of magic permitted. All magic is reserved for the glory of our queen, the Bunny Lady. Entry to the northeast sector of Whispering Woods is strictly forbidden. Reporting suspicious individuals do not approach. Your loyalty upholds the strength of the kingdom of Eldoria. Marvellous. Alright, okay, I like that. That's a nice little bit of scene setting at the beginning.
Environmental storytelling.
So, I think... Do I just go and say hello? Oh, no, I can't attack it. I can talk to it. Nemo, another lost person. Okay, I quite like this kind of... I presume that maybe this was a space for the graphic or something, and they've not managed to put them in, but I love the structure. It's nice. Who are you? Oh, okay, what about you? Okay, it's actually the story, the dialogue history. For 1,000 years. Guardians of the Kingdom of Eldoria. Okay. Let's ask about the Guardians. The Guardians supposed to guard.
Okay, so a bit of an exposition dump, but they've at least broken it up with letting the player choose options about what they want to know more about.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened still so okay, and we've got a kind of little bit of kind of false choices down here. I've got to exhaust it all before I move on. Bunny the Witch, she narrows the kingdom. She's even captured Oisin, our leader, the great lion who guided us. Okay. Can you still guard? So I do find it's a bit weird that the font size seems to change according to the amount of text.
Yeah.
So I like what they've done here with this history, but it would have been nice if it was all the same size. It would also be a lot easier to read if it was, I think, if it was less justified. And also it would be nice to know what was the new stuff and what was the old stuff. So perhaps using colour to indicate the new bits. But quite a nice little interface for doing it otherwise. Okay, what should we ask about?
Opposing Bunny?
Okay. How can Bunny be opposed if she controls the kingdom? The Echo of Eldoria. So we could have asked about the Echo of Eldoria before it was mentioned. So that's again a slight problem, but it's an ancient force. Does it surround and permeate all living things? There's the King's Heart. You can break the chains that bind. Okay.
We found out what Oisin is.
Leave. Well, this is where our dialogue history. Something about Bunny. Oisin is the great lion.
Oh, okay. Getting Narnia vibes.
Yeah, there's definitely an Aslan thing going on, right? Okay. Oh, and that stays on screen, does it? And then no. How do I get out of this?
Space.
Ah, thank you. Right.
Ooh, there's a.
I can't get in there. Can I go right? Can I
I think if you go round the Now.
Is that an enemy or a?
It looks like an enemy because again it's got a health bar, but I have a feeling that it's not. So partly in their game notes they mentioned that this is a purely narrative game.
Oh really? So why can I attack?
That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, I can attack them.
Oh, okay.
But
can you talk to them or
no? There's no.
Can they attack you? Why would you want to attack them?
Don't know. Maybe I'm just a psychotic shepherd.
Yeah. Should we leave them be?
Let's leave them be because I don't know what's going on. So all right. So I've got kind of this maze vibe.
Interesting fence there, like across the path as well. Like maybe
Yeah.
an attempt to manage agency, but a slightly odd way of doing it.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't really have an effect.
And it's also like slightly incongruous with like the rest of the level, like the rest of the environment they've designed. But nah. Okay, so we've got another
a chest
magic
here,
character.
and we've got a character here that I can't do anything with.
Can you attack?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've already lost a lot of that exposition they talked about, but there was something about magic is bad, right? Because the queen wants all of the magic, and certainly these people you can attack look magical. So maybe there's something there.
Yes. It seems I need 3 numbers to unlock the chest. Press enter when you're ready.
Ye olde pin code.
Yeah, absolutely. So what should I be killing these characters?
I think you can talk to the witch.
I can't talk to the witch. Oh yes,
you can.
So maybe I could have talked to the other one. So maybe there's the hitbox for the conversation is only one particular place. Okay, great power comes with great responsibility. And I'm getting Spider-Man vibes, right?
Yeah.
Greetings, are you... I don't even know how to pronounce that.
The Witch of the Woods.
The Witch, yes, are you the Witch of the Woods? Yes, I am the keeper of ancient magic, the unpronounceable name. Use magic secretly. So it looks like we have so she knows the pin code, the oldie pin code.
Maybe we can only speak to her now because we've investigated the chest.
Could be. It's a good job I didn't murder her.
Yeah.
Use magic secretly. What magic? What magic do I have?
Why would we want to...
And why would I just ask her nicely?
Just ask nicely. Let's see what happens. How to prove you're the right person. Test the...
she's giving us a riddle. What is the shape that holds the world together? Well, I know.
Is this something that was revealed in that bit of exposition, or is this just?
I don't think so.
A circle. Seems like
circle of the world seems a thing.
The thing surrounds. And...
Indeed, but incomplete. No, it turned is. How many do you consider fundamental?
Are we going Aristotelian elements?
I think we do. I guess.
Indeed, yet there is a trinity that often shown in the balance in it. But that's not 4 then. Hang on. 0.
Yeah,
4,
they're giving us
3.
our numbers.
Okay, that's
4 elements. Which number stands as the foundation?
3, because she's just said there's a trinity of something.
Yeah, 3. It's key.
There we go. So 0, 4, 3. Gratitude and leave. Leave or gratitude and leave?
Okay. Remember, 3 holds the second position. Okay, so shall we try... So so what she said, 3 holds the second position. So let's try 0, 3, 4. Oh, press enter when you're ready. 0, 3, 4. No. Let's try 4. Oh, try again. 430. No.
Okay, maybe we're barking up the wrong tree. Maybe we should go and try and talk to that other wizard and see if he gives us a clue.
Yeah. Ah, she's told us this. She's told us the middle one. That's what's going on, isn't it? So we've got. So that was at 3. Was it the middle one?
3's the middle one.
So it's a good job I didn't kill these people. If they're
why is killing them an option? If there's the option to kill them, is there another way to get this code, or are you reduced to just trying 1,000 different combinations?
It's they don't like vowels here, do they?
Standard fantasy.
Standard fantasy stuff. Well, yeah, not enough apostrophes possibly, but
true.
Whispered through the leaves of time. Right. Are you the guardian I've heard about? So, interestingly, of course, all I care about now is the number. I don't care about anything he says. He could just say, blah, 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 weather's nice, number 6, and I'd be happy. Yes, ask for help. Can you help me? I'm going to test your luck.
I can sniff the wisdom on you.
Day, but you can solve the riddle. Did I have a chance of just being told the number 6? Or whatever it is?
Maybe.
Let's try the riddle.
Give me the riddle.
My essence lies in balance and power. Oh, crikey. Hang on. My essence lies in balance and power, mirroring infinity hour by hour. In my form, infinity hides. Turn me
8.
Sideways, time divides. I represent balance and might. Name the number that shapes me right. The answer is a number from 0 to 9. Yes, I guess it's 8. It's 8, correct. The number 8 is key to many mysteries. Thank you.
Alright, so is there another NPC?
Don't forget, 8 is the first digit.
Okay, so it's 8-3 something.
8-3 something. Let us explore. So that was down there. What's up here? There must be somebody else.
Can we interact with that big portal?
It looks like a thing that we should be able to interact with, but not seeing anything. In fact, there's a part of the problem here is this is in terms of managing agency. One of the ways you manage agency is by putting paths and things in the environment, but another one is by putting points of interest that draw people's attention. And part of the problem here is that that's working against them. There's loads of stuff that I'm really thinking, oh, that looks good. I could go and
it's difficult to
do
know
stuff
what's
with
actually
that, but
interactable. Yeah. Ooh, that looks
like
yeah.
a thing,
I immediately went, ooh, that looks like a thing we should go to, but
it's not.
Maybe it's not. Is there anything at the bottom of the map? If we follow this path around,
that's just a dead end.
That just brings us there. Can we keep going further to the right past the witch?
Well, unless do you think that flying bat thing will tell us anything?
That's the fairy that gave us all of the exposition dump that doesn't seem to have...
I can ask about the mystical chest.
Oh, okay.
You need to know 3 digits. I only know one of them. So they know, yeah. Chant in your luck or your wisdom?
Let's go for wisdom.
Okay.
We've been doing alright with riddles so far.
Ancient riddle. It's a bit frustrating how it scrolls off the top. From the heaven to the deep sea floor, my reach spans across folklore, in colours cast across the sky, in notes where music's secrets lie. From the spectrum's end to the chord's delight, tell me the number that fits just right.
Now that's interesting, because I would say 7.
Yes.
Because 7 colours in a rainbow.
Because that's what I was thinking.
What's the chord's delight?
Well, that would be, I don't know, 8?
That's what. Well, there's 8 in a octave, but
yeah.
Is there 7 in a chord?
Well, there's 3. Well,
let's pick 7. We reckon it's 7 because of the colours, and that'll do.
You are right. You saw the other numbers. Thank you.
So I'm not hugely getting Shepherd and Lion vibes out of this at the minute.
No, that's right. But we've got the number right, if we can remember it. Here we go.
837. 837. 837.
So 8. I have to click 837. Oh, I got a little mystical sound. That's good. Now it's open.
Cool. Remind me why we did this again?
Something about a lion. Oh, the portal's open.
The portal's open because we opened a chest. I don't know why the magical pin code wasn't on the portal, but okay.
So this is a thing. Yes. Oh, we found the lion.
We found the lion. Slightly more Lion and Shepherd vibes.
Oh, and the lion's sad. It's a sad lion.
Lion stuck in a trap.
The lion is stuck in a trap. Need help. Ignore? Shall we ignore the lion? That's the purpose of our entire quest.
I thought the lion was called Osen.
You're right. Maybe this isn't the lion Osen. Maybe this is his cousin Cedric. That's asking what happened to you.
Aren't we?
Osen.
No, we're
Cedric. Oh, we're Cedric. Please, what happened to you? I was entrapped here by the bunny lady scheme. I'd arranged here. Who did this to you? Who did this to you? I suspect the guards of the bunny lady. Well, you just talk. Why would I ask? You just. She's determined to prevent any challenge to rule, even if it means trapping the guardians of the forest. No, I would have remained undiscovered forever. Oh, okay. What do you want? Could you help me escape from this trap? No. I suppose yes. Of course.
You can see that they're like making an effort to include choices, but that's maybe an example of not a particularly interesting choice.
Well, the problem is, it's like the choice is: would you like to carry on with the game or not? Yeah. It's like, I think I'll carry on with the game, please.
And you could absolutely make that a choice with some consequences either way. Like if it's like leave him trapped here so that we can steal his power or something and like take things in a different direction. But the way it's framed and presented, it's difficult to know whether it will just.
How can I help you? If you could use some magic to free me, shall we use magic? Or I mean, again, why would I not?
Yeah.
The guard, you should not have released Oisin. The queen wants to see you now. Oh, I've been taken off by the guard. Okay.
Because we used magic.
And here's the fairy. Oh, and here's all the
people that we almost killed, but not quite.
The rat person and the witch. They've all come in to see the
mage mouse.
And okay, I'm sort of waiting for something to happen now.
Try moving. You're a lion now.
I'm a lion now. Okay, so we've gathered up our help, do you think?
Looks that way. So if you talk to...
It's capture. He acted selflessly. I will try to find the news of Cedric. Okay, so...
Alright, so they have different things to say now that we've advanced in the story. It's kind of nice.
Are you going to save Cedric from the bunny lady?
No.
Why would I not? Yeah, I'm going to be very intrigued to go through this again and just refuse to do the main quest line. Yeah. We need him on a journey. Running mode control, apparently.
Okie doke.
Oh yeah, I really can run. So it's a path.
You've zoomed in suddenly quite a lot as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's a thing.
That looks like a bunny lady.
May you find... Oh, that's the... So is this a different...
It's just a poster on a pillar.
Is that the... Oh yeah, there we go.
That looks like a bunny lady.
It does look like the bunny lady. Hello. Oh yeah, I can... Release the shepherd. He's done no wrong. Ah, the mighty Oisin comes forward. Your cage was comfortable, wasn't it? Demand release. We're in a position of strength. Got lots of friends. Kindness in my kingdom powers anyway, and you also have lost yours. Should we show strength or offer exchange?
What strength do we have? What do we have to offer?
No idea.
Some things remain unclear.
Should we
show strength? Let's see what happens.
So. My voice still commands many. Your rule is silent here. Refuse the terms. Then your new choice.
What are the terms?
Both punished. Oh, we're being taken away by the guards again. No, hang on.
Can you move? Can you attack?
No, I can't do anything. I've got some. There's another mouse soldier, but here come the fairy, the mouse, Nazgul, and the witch. No idea what's going on. Even in chains, the spirit of freedom endures. You must not lose hope. Your bravery has not gone unnoticed. Tag my sister. How could you join the oppressor? We stood for justice and what? I've kind of who's who here. Oisin. Which one was Tagdig?
Tagdig is the mage mouse.
Oh, we've lost it. Oh, Sorry, I was asking questions and the game finished. I think we just got an ending.
Yeah. I think we got ending number 4. Although it's a bit difficult to make sense of this diagram.
So we can go through and start doing the criteria, but while I'm playing, what strategy should I take? Should I try and kill everybody and see what happens, or should I just try and go through and refuse the options? Both seem like interesting.
Let's start with murder.
Start with murder. All right.
And then we'll see how we feel.
Yeah.
While you're getting your murder on, shall we start talking about some of the marks criteria?
Yes, let's do that.
So first thing on the docket is overall quality. So looking at things like the presentation and play. So if we start with presentation, graphics are pretty nice. There's a few slightly inconsistent elements, like some of the posters, but overall,
I mean, actually, I think the presentation's pretty good. The scrolly text thing is a bit problematic. I think it's the variable change in fonts and all that kind of stuff. But actually, it's otherwise it's quite nice looking.
Yeah, like they've put in some effort to stylize the dialogue as like fantasy type.
It's a bit chaotic, I think, in terms of the way the level looks. It does look like it's a little bit sort of thrown together.
Like the chest asset and the portal asset, like the quite different resolutions to everything else. But...
Oh, sorry, I forgot what I was trying. I was supposed to be trying violence.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
But there's sound. I don't know. Are there much in the way of sound effects?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we found the number on them. So
I just murder them and get the number. I don't have to worry about it. Also, presumably I can just go here and type the number in.
Presumably you can just put that in, yeah. But I think we should try murdering everyone to see what effect that has.
Let's do it. Now we find that we can murder. Let's murder the... They've attacked the Witch King of Cheese and forced him to give you the code of the Arcanum chest.
So if we... where are we? So presentation, would you say they're professional, complete and effective?
Sorry, I'm having a conversation with someone I just murdered.
Yeah, it happens.
How do I get out of this? No, I don't. I can now.
Space?
Leave.
Oh, there we go. Space?
No, space.
Because you're.
I think I have a problem. I think I've caused a problem. Okay. I murdered someone in the middle of the conversation, and I'm not supposed to do that. I think that was a use case that they didn't understand.
Didn't necessarily foresee.
So I will restart a minute, and here we go. Let's start again. Right, I will try not to be. I will try to murder people properly this time. Right.
But yeah, in terms of the presentation, like the graphics are mostly nice. A few little inconsistencies. Again, there's some lovely background audio. I don't know if there's any like attack sound effects or anything like that.
No, I'm not hearing anything.
There's a sound effect when you open the chest.
There was the chest. There was a sound effect for the chest, and
like you say, the information design is mostly there. There's a couple of weirdnesses with the dialogue history, like the changing of fonts, but it looks like all the important information is there.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
So beyond that would be impactful, so complete, effective, and appealing. Do you think it quite reaches that?
I don't think so. I think
it's solidly at the good level.
Professional, complete, and effective. That seems like a pretty good description. So interestingly, I've got the 3 numbers, but I don't know the order.
So maybe that's the benefit for not murdering everyone.
Yeah.
That they'll also tell you that.
Is that the numbers? I can't remember now. 783, something like that.
738, I think.
738.
Or was it 837? 837.
Yeah, so there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. What about meaningful play? Do you feel like you're playing?
So well, here's the thing. So the controls are fine, right?
Controls, yep.
That they're pretty reasonable, and the bugs, although we've seen 1 or 2 things, they're sort of minor bugs. It mostly works okay. The problem is the mechanics, and so I can move, I can interact, which enters the dialogue, and I can attack, but the attack isn't any kind of play.
Like it might as well just be a "Do you want to kill this person?" button,
Yes,
yes or no.
exactly.
Like, they don't respond, they don't try attacking you back or anything like that. There's a limited amount of things you're doing.
Yeah, so I think that's the problem. So it's the lack of mechanics and the lack of play that's the issue. I mean, I'm exploring, and I suppose that's a limited form of play.
You've got. I mean, do we count riddles as play? It's
yeah,
it is, but it's very limited.
Yeah.
So if we look at the mark scheme, a pass would be a simple game with few mechanics and awkward controls. A satisfactory would be a simpler game with fewer mechanics, but usable controls.
May have some minor bugs. It feels like it
might be halfway between the two.
Yeah, it feels like it's almost at the satisfactory level, right? Simpler game with fewer mechanics, controls usable, may have some minor bugs.
I think that's it's smooth, it's controllable, but there is such a limited set of mechanics it doesn't quite get there, unfortunately.
I think I'd agree with that. Let's interact with Cedric. Okay, so we've murdered everybody. So now we get to this choice. So shall we go through the same process and ignore and release him and then see what happens?
Yeah.
And then we'll go through and try and ignore everybody.
So I hope you're happy to see me, Osin, because I have killed so many people to get here.
That's right, yes. What do you want? Yes.
Okay, so the next thing on the marked criteria is how well they fulfilled the brief, starting with the story engine. So I think this might be a good example of the game world affecting the story, right? So we've murdered a few people. They're not going to show up in the story later. So
yes, I'm assuming that's what's going to happen, and then I'll presumably get a different ending.
Oh, you didn't murder the fairy?
Oh, I did. Wait. No, I did murder the fairy, and
okay.
I murdered them, and I murdered everybody.
No, hang on. So you attacked them and forced you to give them the thing. They're not dead, but they're probably upset with you.
Oh.
So yeah, there we go. Let's talk around and see what they have to say about us. Oh, okay. They do reference the events at least.
So they basically say that that guy Cedric, he's no good.
He's like he's really selfless, but also he did attack me.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Are you going to save him? Well, I guess I want to. Let's follow it through. So.
Okay,
yes.
so there's definitely some impact from your actions in the game world.
Well,
it feels like they maybe should.
Well, hang on a minute. Is that the game world?
Is attacking them?
So attacking them. So I think. So I think in terms of story affecting, game world affecting the story, that's a definite example of it going that way, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, I'd agree with that. But if we're thinking about story affecting the game world,
I think, as we've already said, because there's such a lack of mechanics, it's difficult to say that there has been effect in the game world.
So, also I can't remember where was this person?
It's just to the right.
So,
in the
if this was an actual fight, and then the people turned up, that would be an example. But it isn't.
Yeah,
it's a cutscene, effectively.
That's what I'm saying. There's definitely game to story, but not the other way around. And honestly, it would be nice if the game to story had more of an impact, because it felt like there was only a very small change in the dialogue there. Yeah. Whereas, presumably there's a change in this cutscene as well, but they seem to repeat a lot of the same dialogue, talking about what a selfless hero and what a kind person you were, despite having attacked all three of them.
Despite the fact, oh, hang on, what's this person doing? We must not lose hope, Cedric. Remember, Julia's here, so what can we do now? Well, Bravia is not going to notice. It's the same ending, isn't it?
It looks like it.
That's it.
Okay. So that was the same ending. So there was some story differences, but not a huge amount.
Not a lot. And the key thing, the key thing about the story engine bit is that we're not talking about your narrative choices having an effect on the narrative. It's talking about your game choices having effect on the narrative. and your narrative choices having effect on the game. So so we've got one example, which is I can attack the creatures, and then they reference that in the narrative text later on.
But beyond that,
I think that's it, isn't it? That's the only way that the game impacts the story.
And again, it goes back to what we said. Like, there's not a lot of game, so there's not a lot for
there's not a lot
there's
of
not a lot of
options.
gameplay choices that can impact stuff, and there's likewise not a lot of story that can impact the game. So if we look at the mark scheme, a pass for game to story would be a few sparse or minor examples of the game world impacting the story.
So no, we've got one, so it's not quite there.
Poor would be some support for story elements, but it has no real impact on the story.
Okay. So it's better than that, I think, isn't it? So it's halfway between a poor and a pass, I think, for game world to story.
That's what it seems to me, yeah.
And then story to game world, I don't think there's anything. There's no... So remember, what you're looking for is examples where a choice I make in the story affects the game.
And that might be, like a new power-up or a new ability or a new companion or something like that.
Or even given this as an exploration game, a different landscape to navigate through, or...
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything. The differences are all you make decisions and they come back to you in the story world. I'm just a little busy right now. Okay, so I'm going to ignore that person. I've got a feeling
it feels like we're at a sort of like there's a story premise, but there's not really an attempt to integrate the story elements back into the game.
Yes, which is at the absent level.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Right, I'm just ignoring this person now. I must go. So
which nicely segues us onto agency.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling that I'm not going to have any choice. I'm going to have to... Seems 3 numbers. Press enter when you're ready. What was the code? 837?
837.
There we go. So I've cheated. Ah, that's interesting. Portal's not open. Oh, it is. I'm interested to see what he says, given that I've not spoken to everybody and ignored people. Not ignore you. I'm busy. And we're back out here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't put you where the portal is. But ignore all of them and go and talk to the lion at least, and we'll see if we can...
That's what I just did.
You ignored the lion as well. Let's go and actually talk to the lion.
Oh, I think actually have a nice...
button.
This isn't open though, is it? Oh, it's completely reset. Oh, I think I just ended the game. I think I just got an ending.
Oh, interesting.
I think I just got a... I'm totally disinterested in playing this game ending. 837 was it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so open the portal again. There we go. Yeah, go on then. I'll help you this time. Who did this to you? Oops.
Oh yeah, apparently if you choose to not save the lion, you get ending 1, which is everyone is killed by the bunny lady.
Well, let's do that. No. You refuse to help the laying. The spirit will never deal to tyranny. Your spirit means nothing. Now it is mine alone. Okay.
So we definitely have, some sort of like branching narrative. There are different endings to get.
Yeah. So we've got you're right. We definitely have a number of choices. So then it comes down to whether or not they're interesting choices or not, really, and whether agency is properly managed. And interesting choices are choices where there isn't one obvious answer. Where in other words, it's not a calculation, and that calculation could be complicated, like weighing up a bunch of factors, or it could be just a simple: do you progress the game or not, right? But it shouldn't be like that. It should be kind of grey choices where both things seem possible and feasible. And also, they shouldn't be completely blind, so they should be informed by something.
Some information about what's about to happen.
And the issue here is that these choices aren't like that, right?
It's interesting because they seem to hit both of those things in a way, unfortunately. So either the choice just ends the game immediately, or prevents progression, or you don't have enough information about what what the consequences of your choice are going to be. So they don't have to outright tell you, but for example, when they say, do you want to use magic or brute force, it's difficult to know. Actually, I think looking at their story diagram, that might actually be an example of false agency, which, interestingly, is a nice way of doing it. So both of those seem to lead to the same next node, which is whichever you choose, you get caught.
Yeah.
So that one isn't too bad, but
yeah.
But ultimately, I think there's, for example, like the main choice that they've got and the one that has the most potential to be interesting is: do you attack people to get the number, or do you go through and get the riddle? And there's something there, right? It's definitely easier to punch them in the face and take the number than it is to answer the riddle.
Yeah. Except, so the problem is that there's no real, because I'm not motivated to go through this level quickly, right? It's like there's no cost to me to talk to them, so that completely undermines that choice. So you can imagine if there was a timer going on, right, or if enemies were spawning gradually in the space around me, so the longer it took me to talk to these characters, the harder it would be for me to fight my way out or something, right? Now I've got a genuine choice. I've got a moral choice, right? Do I persuade the person, but at the expense of me having to a more difficult game, or do I help the person, or do I kill the person immediately, make it nice and easy for me, right? So it's kind of low road and high road, right?
Yeah.
But here the problem is that the roads, there's
it's
no
still
reason.
There to an extent, but it's not reflected in the game. It's just an extension of the player's laziness. Like, do you want to solve a riddle? Do you just want to punch a fairy in the face? So let's take a look at the mark scheme, which I have over here. So a pass would be: there are some choices, but only a few are interesting. We may be a little bit below that, which would be: there are few choices and the player agency is problematic.
I think that's probably where we are, isn't it?
I think, unfortunately, it might be.
Yeah, we've got a different ending here. So we saved the lion, but the lion couldn't be bothered to save Cedric. So everyone mourns Cedric. Yeah.
So there's definitely a number of branching paths through this. There's definitely a number of different endings.
Yeah.
But our route and our motivation and our agency over which of those happen is a little bit problematic in places.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the design element. So how well have they incorporated these things into the game itself? Starting off with techniques. Starting off with pacing. What's the pacing like?
Well, we do have a kind of climactic end sequence of sorts.
We've got some introductory exposition. We progress through 3 wise sages. We get to a place. There is a climax. It feels very compressed, and I know we're only asking them to do a small game prototype for this, but there is. Weirdly, it feels like there's definitely a climactic peak, but nothing leading up towards it. So there's not really ascendant pacing, but there is a climax.
Yes, I think that's probably fair.
So that would actually put them between a pass and a good, which I guess evens out at a satisfactory.
I just noticed you feel the lucky option. As far as I can tell, the game tosses a coin. If you're lucky, it just tells you. That's kind of interesting. Anyway. So that okay, so I think you're right. I think kind of so if we look at the criteria for pacing, we've got kind of,
so it goes from at the pass end, the pacing is unclear or a bit flat. Satisfactory would be there's some ascendant pacing, and good would be there's ascendant pacing with a final peak.
So I think that you're right. We have a kind of a final peak, and I would say there is some ascending pacing. But I would say it feels like at the satisfactory level, right? And it's because it's too granular. It's like, wander about this big area, have a climactic conversation.
I see. To me, the fact that so much of the exposition is done through very big walls of dialogue
Yeah.
hampers the pacing for me, because there's a certain point when I've read so much text that I just start going, oh, I'm not interested in this, just come on, let's get to the next bit. And again, because there's limited gameplay, they haven't been able to express it in other ways.
Yeah.
Which, so to me, like, I'm umming and ahhing between a pass and a satisfactory and a satisfactory. If you think there's enough ascendant pacing in like the narrative propositions, then
well, I think the thing we both agree on is that the pacing unclear or flat is better than that, right? We haven't just got a flatness. It's because, again, the problem is the simplicity, this kind of really broad strokes, and we do have a kind of narrative peak. It's a shame there's not a gameplay peak to go with it, but so have they done enough? I think if you were interpreting it generously, you would say that we have some ascendant pacing.
Okay, so that lands them at a satisfactory.
Yeah, I think we could. What do you? Oh, there we go. The 3.
Okey-doke. And next is techniques. So what game techniques as they use to tell this story? We've clearly got not only dialogue with NPCs, but dialogue trees where we can sort of narrow down or which order that we want to hear about things in.
We've got this sort of notice thing.
We've got some bits and pieces sort of in the game world. Again, would have been nice if they'd fleshed those out a little bit more. But we've got some cutscenes at the end.
Some cutscenes. So I actually think that this is probably one of the things they've done the best. They've got a good would be successful use of more than one game writing technique.
Yes.
And you could argue that the dialogue bit is a bit clumsy, but generally speaking, I think they've hit that.
Yeah.
The problem is, if to go up to the excellent, you have to have mechanics that support the theme, and there aren't really any mechanics to support the theme, because I'm just exploring. The story obviously supports the theme, this idea of helping people and they come to help you, but it's not told through the game. That's not.
It's a layer on top of it. Yeah.
So I think that's clearly at the kind of good level.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to know what their feedback was.
So let me just have a quick look. So they've list 3 distinct bits of feedback. The first one they talk about in their initial design of gameplay, they were going to have 4-faced die rolls to determine the outcome of decisions, and a skill system to adjust the possibility of dice rolls. So a little bit like Disco Elysium's kind of system almost. Yeah. The feedback of the design was that they need to set a clear relation between the story engine and gameplay, and think about why the player wants to play the game. Yeah. Because if the player, rolls the dice and gets snake eyes every time, then they're going to feel frustrated. They don't talk about what they've done as a result of that.
No.
Other than apparently removing the randomness. Except you already mentioned there was a coin flip in there.
Here we go. Ask for help. See what comes up here. I'm going to test your luck. There we are. Unless it automatically says, oh no, it came up and said they gave us the one a minute ago, didn't they? Yeah, there's still some odd randomness that doesn't really solve much purpose in here.
So according to them, the feedback they were given was the need to set a clear relation between the story engine and the gameplay.
Yeah.
And it looks like they certainly haven't articulated how they've done that, and it doesn't look like they have done that. So the next bit they talk about is they wanted to keep the design of the skill system, including brave benignity, kindness/morality, and crafty insight, wisdom/intelligence.
Yeah.
The feedback is how to balance the 2 skills, how to balance the calculation and the agency. Since we aim to make the gameplay the narrative, less calculation would be better. Again, they haven't said strictly what they've actually done to address that. Looking like I can see glimmers of that in some of the dialogue choices, right? Like brute force versus magic and wisdom versus luck, and like a couple of things. But as we already said, there wasn't enough context around those to know, which of these is my better skill? Which of these should I be using? What are the consequences of having them going to be? And feedback number 3, the pure narrative play may be boring, and once the player knows the code of the chest, it loses potential of the player other chatting.
Yeah.
To improve this situation, we make the map more misleading to gain fun for exploring. Interesting.
No,
Moreover, the player can not only get the clues by chatting, but also attacking the NPCs, which will affect the ending. So that doesn't seem to... So
yeah, I think
a couple of different bits and pieces there. Certainly, making the map more complicated, we've already talked about, actually detracts from the experience.
Yes.
The ability to attack the NPCs, yeah, sure. That is, again, we also said that's
a choice.
The most interesting choice in the game, so that's good. But it doesn't really address the problem they set out, which is once you know the code, you know the code.
Yeah, still a real problem. I mean, okay, so I'm not sure that they've. So from what you've said there, it feels like, I mean, a poor would be feedback is not addressed well, but some other positive changes have been made.
The problem is it's difficult to see what changes have been made
because they haven't explained.
Them, and of the ones that they have, we've said it actually had detracted from it. So it feels like it's not completely absent. They have at least talked about the types of feedback they got, but they haven't talked about how they've addressed it very well. So I think it feels like between an absent and a poor.
I think you're right. Okay. So I think the fundamental issue with this game is we asked them to produce a narrative game, and there's not enough game here. And the mark scheme is really asking them about kind of this interplay between gameplay and story, and because there's not much mechanics, there's not much game, they're repeatedly not able to demonstrate that, and it's kind of falling a bit flat. So it's a shame that they didn't try to introduce some more game elements to the story that they could have then hooked in, and I think that would have made a big difference to the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I think that's our last game. Shall we wrap up?
Yeah, in fact, I think that might be our last batch as well. So thank you very much for watching the series, and we'll see you again soon for another one.
See you soon.